Good day, everyone. And now we are discussing about Republic Act 9497. It is an act, the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, authorizing the appropriation of funds, therefore, and other purposes. So in Chapter 1, we have, I will be discussing the three sections, Section 1, Section 2, and Section 3. For Section 1, it is a short title. This is an act that shall known as the Civil Aviation Authority of 2008. In section number 2, a declaration of policy. It is hereby declared that the policy of state to provide safe and efficient air transport and regulation services in the Philippines. Creation of a Civil Aviation Authority with jurisdiction over the reconstruction of civil aviation system, the promotion and development and regulation of the technical operation safety and aviation security functions under the Civil Aviation Authority. So in Section 3, the definition of term for purposes of this Act, the Civil Aviation Act. First definition of term is the aerial work. It refers to an aircraft operation in which aircraft is used for specialized services such as agriculture, construction, photography, surveying, and etc. Next is aerodrome. Refers to an aerodrome, it refers to an airport. It is defined as the area on land or water, including any building or installation, which means it is a departure area for an aircraft or an airplane. Air commerce or the commercial air transportation operation refers to and includes scheduled or non-scheduled air transport services for pay or hire. It involves the transportation of passenger, cargo, or mail for remuneration or hire. So next is the aircraft. Aircraft refers to machines that have derived support in the atmosphere from the reaction of the air other than the reaction of the air against the Earth's surface. The term aircraft, when used in this act or regulation issued under this act, shall refer to the civil aircraft only. So the aircraft that defined is in this act is for the aircraft for civil aircraft rather, and it will not include state or public aircraft. So next definition of term is the aircraft accident. So aircraft accident refers to occurrence associated with the operation of an aircraft, which takes place between the time or any person boards the aircraft with an intention of flight until such time such a person will have diminished or disembarked in which. So, air accident might happen to any person, suffer death, or any serious injuries. Next is the aircraft receive substantial damages. Aircraft have any damages. So that's for the aircraft accident. Next is the aircraft radio station. It refers to a radio station moored to any aircraft. So aircraft engine also refers to any engine used to intend to be used in the propulsions of aircraft and included all parts and accessories, therefore than a propeller. So aircraft engines, those are the engines in the aircraft. Last definition of terms that I'm going to report is the aircraft piracy or the aircraft hijack. Refers to any actual or attempt, seizure, or exercise of control. It is unlawful control of a person by force of violence or any other forms of intimidation which wrongfully intend of an aircraft within the jurisdiction of the Philippines.
Good day everyone, I am Lucrecio P. Kalimpusan Jr. and today I will discuss to you what is Republic Act number 9497. Republic Act 9497 Act creating the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, authorizing the appropriation of funds, therefore and for other purposes. So Republic Act number 9497, otherwise known as the Civil Aviation Authority Act of 2008. So ngano 2008 siya? So this was signed into law on March 4, 2008. Because of this act, or by the virtue of this act, the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines or CAAP was created. So tungod diani nga Republic Act, ang CAAP is nabuo siya. So this law abolished the Air Transportation Office and instead of created the CAAP, so this is an act that is mandated to set comprehensive, clear and rules and regulation of the Philippines aviation industry. Senate and House of Representatives of the Philippines under this act are different chapter, starting of chapter 1, which are the general preventions, including the section 1 or short title. This act shall be known as the Civil Aviation Authority Act of 2008. So being it that the act will be known as the Civil Aviation Authority Act of 2008. The Civil Aviation Authority Act of 2008 itself will be the title of the Republic Act number 9497. So next is section 2, Declaration of Policy. It is that hereby declared the policy of state to provide safe and efficient air transport and regulatory services in the Philippines by providing for the creation of Civil Aviation Authority with jurisdiction over the restructuring of civil aviation system, the promotion, development and regulations of technical, operational, safety and aviation security functions under the Civil Aviation Authority. So under Section 2 of RA 9497, Civil Aviation of the Philippines is mandated to provide safe and efficient air transport and regulatory services. So under this section is not a joke. It is declared the policy of the state. Therefore, people under this job should act accordingly to provide safety transport to the passengers or by the name of Aviation System of the Philippines with jurisdiction over the restructuring of civil aviation system. So restructuring is addressed concern that change or modifications of civil aviation administrations that are presently functioning. So next is ang promotion. So kasabot ni mintan sa ang promotion. So lastly is ang developments and regulation of technical, operational, safety and aviation security functions under the Civil Aviation Authority, such as the regulation of technical operations, ensure safety and efficiency in effectively managing air navigation services, practical guidance materials, and best practices and airline operations and maintenance of the airlines. And that's all. Thank you.
Good morning everyone, my name is Francis and I'm going to continue the report of Republic Act number 947. Let's start from the Board of Directors, means the Board of the Civil Authority created under this act. So in Chicago Convention refers to the international basis for civil aviation agreements. When we say citizen of the Philippines, refers to the one of the following: an individual who is a citizen of the Philippines, a partnership of which each member is a citizen of the Philippines, or a corporation or association created or organized and authorized under the laws of the Philippines. Civil aircraft refers to any aircraft other than a state or public aircraft. So when we say civil aviation, refers to the operation of any civil aircraft for the purpose of the general aviation operations, aerial work, or commercial air transport operations. So crew member refers to a person assigned to perform duties on an aircraft in flight. Dangerous goods refers to the articles or substance that are capable of posing significant risks to health or safety or of property when transported by air. So next is Director General, refers to the Director General. So next is domestic air commerce, means and includes of air commerce within limits of Philippine territory. So, domestic air transport means air transportation within the limits of the Philippine territory. So, when we say domestic air transport is um, within the Philippines lang ang iyang biyahe. And for foreign air carrier or foreign air operator means any operator not being a Philippine air operator which undertakes with whether directly or indirectly by lease or any other arrangement to engage in commercial air transport operation within borders or airspace of the Philippines whether on a scheduled or chartered basis. So, ang atong example ani is kanang naay mga booking sa mga private aircraft na mag-adto-adto o mga lain site like kanang bird's eye view sa uban na ganing maglaglaag sila nga na sila ginabook na private pilot. So foreign air transport refers to air transportation between the Philippines and any place outside it or wholly outside the Philippines. So foreign air transport is for example is when mo order kag Shopee mo na siya gina-transport gyud ang ang mga packages not by sea but na-transport siya by air kay mas dali ra ang tapos lease ang kanang iyang um, expenses. So general aviation operations refer to an aircraft operation of civil aircraft or other than a commercial air transport operation or aerial work operation. So for example no is ang kanang AUV kanang automated um, basta kanang sa ng vehicle na may tao, aerial vehicle na may tao. So next is general aviation operation. Next is ICAO or ICAO, where use in this act refers to abbreviation for International Civil Aviation Organization. So international commercial air transport refers to the carriage by aircraft for person or property for remuneration or hire of the carriage of mail between of two or more countries. So mo na yung ng mga balikbayan ng mga messages. And navigable airspace refer to the airspace above the minimum altitude of flight prescribed by regulations under the act that includes airspace needed to ensure safety in the takeoff of landing of aircraft. So balik ta sa International Civil Aviation Organization. So ang International Civil Aviation Organization is mo ni siya ang kaning naga-analyze o naga-audit sa mga tanan na hitabo sa mga flights sa aviation within aviation organization. So next is navigation of aircraft refers to a function that includes the piloting of aircraft. So person refers to any individual, firm, partnership, corporation, company, association, joint club, joint staff association, or body politic that includes any trustee, receiver, assignee, or other similar representative of these entities. So next is Philippine air carrier means an air carrier who is a citizen of the Philippines. So itong example is LBC o kahit JNT, I think JNT naga-air magurali sila air delivery. So next is Philippine aircraft means an aircraft registered in the Philippines in accordance with the requirements of this act. So sample na is Cebu Pacific, PAL, Philippine Airlines, and Air Asia, and So propeller represents an inclusive term for all parts, appurtenance, and accessories of a propeller. So propeller is mo na siyang katungurag something gamit para mag-lift up ang isa ka aviation vehicle. So next is a public aircraft represent an aircraft used exclusively into the service of any government of any political jurisdiction. So public aircraft is kanang ginakuan sa ginasakyan sa atong presidente when na sila yung mga surveys within the Philippines. So next is the rules of the air means the provision of securing the safety aircraft and flight movement of the surface. So mo ni ang purpose sa isa ka radar mo nang naay public aircraft rules of the air. Kay kung di walay rules of the air, dili mo na siya i-obey. Posible mo bangga mo sa isa ka aircraft within the next aircraft or di ka makabalo kung nabay trahedya maabot. So next is lights and signals to be shown by aircraft. So mo na siya nga tong blinking yung lights na red ug white within the kung magsakay ka eroplano na siya sa within the wings. So next is general visual and instrument flight rules. So mo na siya ang radar ang ginamin. So airport traffic rules and airport signals and markings. So kailangan nimo i-obey ang mga rules sa isa ka airport, cause kung dili mo na i-obey ang rules sa isa ka airport, dili jud mo dili jud mo makasinabot within the other pilot o ikaw. So that's it.
So we have here the chapter 2. It's all about the organization of authority. When we say organization of authority, it refers to the ranking of employees to top-level management to entry level of employees. We also have here the section 4, creation of the authority. It's a created independent regulatory body with quasi-judicial and quasi-legislative power and possessing corporate attributes to be known as Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines or CAAP or CAAP, hereinafter referred to be as the authority, attached to the Department of Transportation and Communication, DOTC. For the purpose of the policy coordination, for this purpose, the existing Air Transportation Office created under the provision of Republic Act Number 776 as amended is hereby abolished. When we say the creation of the authority, it is to form an authority to a certain people or group with an official legal power to make an action, decisions, or make the people obey in a particular area or particular task. Also, the meaning of the quasi-judicial power is described as the power or duty to investigate and to draw conclusion from investigation, while the quasi-legislative power is the administrative agency power to engage in a rule-making. And as for the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, it is responsible for implementing policies on civil aviation to ensure safe, economic, and efficient air travel. Formally, the Air Transportation Office is an independent regulatory body attached to the Department of Transportation for the purpose of the policy coordination. And we also have the section 5, the composition of the board members. The corporate powers of the authority shall be vested in a board which is composed of 7 members. When we say the composition of the board member, it refers to the people in the organization, board of directors, and what they bring to the board table, such as their management, background, and skills. We have here the 7 member, which is the Secretary of Department Transportation and Communication shall act as chairman. Example official. Next is the Director General of Civil Aviation, or GCA, shall automatically be the Vice Chairman of the Board. Then we also have the Secretary of Finance, the Secretary of Foreign Affairs, the Secretary of Justice, the Secretary of the Interior Local Government, and the Secretary of Department of Labor and Employment.
Good day, ma'am. I am Kervin M. Kumaling, and this time we discuss about prohibited interest, which is one of my topic. When we say prohibited interest, means an interest in a contract with a government or a state-owned enterprise, the acquisition of which by a specified person in a public life is prohibited by rules made under Section 22. For example, prohibited interest in a public contract. The ATEC Act prohibits a public official, a public employee, or a member of his or her immediate family from having an interest in the profits or benefit of a contract, and the official, employee, or family member have either direct authority to enter into the contract or have a control over the contract. This prohibition extends to businesses with which the official, employee, or family member are associated. Direct authority control or over a contract. Legislative Rule 15882 states that example of individuals with direct authority and control over the awarding of public contracts include all elected appointment and a public official in the executive branch of city, county, and state governments, superintendent, assistant superintendents, superintendents, purchasing directors, county commissioners, county board members, and city managers. In addition, advisory opinions issued by the Ethics Commission have found the following person to exercise control over a contract for purpose of the contract's provision in the Ethics Act. An individual who oversees the administration of the contract or monitors or supervised services provided under contract 9 AO 9502 in a town council member has authority and control over a lease agreement with the town even if the member is fully recused from voting thereon, or AO 2013 to 19. And the next, which is section 7, which is limitation of subsequent employment. When we say a limitation subsequent employment, which is means an employment or provision of services whether as owner, principal, agent, partner, director, officer, independent contractor, consultant, or employee for any entity, corporation, partnership, or individual, including without limitation self-employment. For example, the Anti-Age Discrimination in Employment Act or Republic Act Number 10911 specifically prohibits requiring the declaration of age or birth date during the application process. The Implementing Rules of Data Privacy Act or Republic Act Number 10173 also provide that the applicant or data subject has a right to be informed if personal data is being collected for purposes of profiling or for the other forms of data processing. Under this law, profiling includes the automated processing of personal data or defined as information from which the identity of an individual is apparent or can be ascertained, consisting of the use of such as personal data to evaluate certain personal aspects relating to a natural person. The Philippine HIV and AIDS Policy Act prohibits the rejection of job applications solely or partially on the basis of actual, perceived, suspected HIV status. That's all about of my topic, ma'am. Thank you.
So good afternoon everyone. I am Desuriaki, the presenter of Section 8, 9, and 10. The Section 8 is the quorum. The presence of at least 4 members of the board shall constitute a quorum, and a majority vote of 3 members in a meeting where a quorum is present shall be necessary for the adoption of any rule, ruling, order, resolution, decision, or other act of the board in the exercise of its function. The section outlines the rules for making and adopting rulings, orders, resolution, decision, or other actions by the board, emphasizing that these actions can only be taken if the required quorum is met. A board of directors sa usa ka kompanya nga kinahanglan nga naay minimum nga 4 ka member para mahimong quorum. Kung naay 4 ka membro nga present, kinahanglan nga tulo niini ang moboto para sa pag-approve sa bisan unsang mga balaod or order, resolution, decision, uban action sa board alang sa ilang mga gusto na ipatupad. For the example is gusto sila magtukod og business sa ilahang group, so which is the need sila og quorum para kumpleto sila. Need sa isa ka tao or sa tanan nga mag-approve ang ilahang decision or ilahang plano sa isa nga dili lang isa ang mo approve or mo agree ana nga buhatonon, kung dili ang tanan, kay para mas mabuhat og ilaha jong ma-action dayon sa ilahang kinatasan or leader para mahuman diretso ang ilahang mga plano. Section 9 is the qualificative of Director General. For the example, if the Director General sa isa ka kumpanya dapat na siya na mga qualities, ang good moral character, unquestionable integrity, recognized competence in a degree holder with at least 5 years supervisor of management experience in the field of aviation. Need siya nga ang General Director na nga quality, kay ang General Director ginatakda para siya nga tao nga napili para sa posisyon ay may sapat na kakayahan at karanasan para ang maayo na pamumuno mapanatili sa kumpanya or pamamahala ng mga operasyon sa larangan ng aviation sa bansa. Kaya ang General Director siya ang first na leader na ang mamumuno sa mga tao. So need nga ang General Director is naato siya ng mga qualities, kay para siya na leader is kakayahan siya mamuno sa mga iyahang gigunitan nga mga tauhan sa isa ka kumpanya. Last is the section 10 board meetings. The board shall meet regularly once a month and may hold special meetings to consider urgent matters upon call of the chairman or upon the initiative of 4 members. Internal rules of procedure in the conduct of board meetings shall be as prescribed by the board. For example, bali the politics, kanang session is naka-ordinansya na gyud sa politics within once or twice a month. It's because dinha ay discuss ang mga project o mga problem inside or out sa ato ang community. And also na ay ginatawag na special meeting kay meaning na urgent na siya or needed na gyud kaayo. Example, mayor na sila program nga ipatupad or project ba, dapat need yun na siya sessionan with sa iyahang mga councilor for the approval of everybody, and magpatawag may special meeting or magpatawag sila special meeting, like dapat may sigutan kay basig ang isa ka community kay na ay problema para masolusyonan dayon. Then dili mo pwede magpa-session or mag-meeting kung mukurum kay kunwari 5 lang mo. Kinsa man ang mga preside as acting chairman or officer, dapat kung sa member 8 mo kabuok, dapat 6 ang tao nga naa or 7 ba, kay para quorum mo para kumpleto. And ang chairman or mayor is siya ang magmugna sa mga plano for together with the councilor para magdesisyon sila for approval sa ilahang business na itukod, kay dili man pwede magpa-meeting ka nga kulangan mo tapos ang isa dili siya muuyod, so dili siya mo agree, so need siya sa member sa chairman is natanan ang iyahang mga councilor, kay para tanan nga ilahang buhaton nga business or ilahang meeting need ma-approve sa tanan, kay para mapadayon ang ilahang ginaplanuhan.
So, good afternoon everyone. I am Rina Mibrandino. So, this is the continuation of report in chapter 2. Section 11. Per diems. The members of the board shall receive a per diem for each meeting actual attended. The per diems of the members of the board shall be determined pursuant to a resolution of that adopted by the board subject to compliance of the guidelines duly existing and applicable by the Commission on Audit. So, per diem is in a Latin word, it is a per day. Per diems describe a daily amount paid of a person, which work expenses occur during work travel. So, example of per diem. It is IT workers. It's like information technology. And then hibali nagwork sa laing city, kuha ra siya for consultant working. So ang iyang madawat is per day is like 350. So gikuha man siya sa another city para mag-work. So for him nga mabayaran sa iyang sweldo per day, so that kanang maano jud siya bayaran. So next, section 12, personnel. A qualified existing personnel of the Air Transportation Office shall be given preference in the filling up of plantilla position created in authority subject to existing civil service rule and regulation. So, personnel, as a personnel, it is a process of selection that involves collecting information about individuals for the purpose of determining sustainability, of course, of your work, employment in a particular job. So, it is important nga kung mag-hiring siya, dapat ang act of personnel is kanang diri magbase kung suitable ba ka sa imong work nga sudlan. So next, section 13, principal office. The authority shall be its principal office in Metro Manila and may hold hearings on any proceeding of such time and places within the Philippines, as it may provide by order in writing. So, the purpose of principal office in the corporation, it's like a principal place of business. Generally, refers to where the corporation officer direct, control, and coordinate the corporation of the activity. So, there are some cases na search na ko diri sa internet. So, here are some cases in section 11, which is per diems. So, Development Bank of the Philippines petitioner versus Commission of Audit Respondent. So, here's the link that I can provide, and you can read what about this. And also the case of section 12, which is the personnel. the personnel is like personal selection, law, and legal issues court cases. So here's the link. And lastly, the section 13, which is principal office. GR number 161026 October 24, 2005. Hyatt Elevators and Escalators Corporation petitioner versus Gold Star Elevators Philippines Association, the respondent. Those are the example of some cases in my report, which is the organization of authority.
Section 17 is Schedule of Fees and Charges. So the authority shall adopt and publish a schedule of fees and charges. The authority shall hold such a public hearing or consultative meeting with stakeholder and the industry before adopting schedules of fees and charges. So the authority shall not revise its schedule of fees and fines more often than once every 3 years. So fees and charges means all fees and charges authorized to be received by the authority from the pursuant to the term and provision of the loan agreement for purposing paying the authority annual fees and expenses. So kabantay mo anang mga kuan tas anang na yung mga dakog yuta, di ba na sila every year na ginabayadan og tax. So pag karon na year na dili sila makabayad, next year pa sila murag times 2 ang ilang bayad sa ilang tax. So that's in ana siya. Section 18. Compensation and other emolument of authority personnel. So with 6 months of the effective of this act, board shall be determined a new schedule of salaries of the employees of the authority subject to the compliance with existing. So compensation of which benefits of employee holding technical position that are not common to other agency of the government shall be specified in implementing rules and regulations. So in Philippines, so di ba nagid tayo mga rules and regulation, dili jud na mawala ang rules and regulation jud nato. Kay ginasunod man nato unsa ang dapat dili. Like ani kani ilang mga salary sa mga employees. Section 19, transfer of properties. And so the funds of the appropriation record equipment and properties of the ATO is hereby transferred to the authority. So transfer of property act note the case law. So the act provides a provision for transfer of movable or immovable property as a learn. You can consider it as a free online and self-paced course. As a competitive exam aspirant, you will find it perfect for judicial service. So, if imong family yutaan, so di ba pag magtigulang na sila, kay na ay possible ang pangalan sa imong parents or pangalan sa yuta, which is ang imong parents, di ba? So, if magtigulang na sila, so nadyo'y possible na ibalhin, i-transfer nila sa pangalan sa ilang mga anak. Like, yung anak siya. So, Section 20, Annual Report. So, the authorities shall prepare and submit an annual report to the President of the Philippines, to the Senate, to the House of Representatives on its accomplishment at the close of each calendar every year.